Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel and to a short series of videos around a new project. And I know what you're thinking and I can already hear you yelling at the screen, Sophie, do you not have enough projects now? But to keep the story short for now, this 110 was a little bit too good of a deal to miss. So anyway, I would like to welcome you to Gordon. So Gordon is a 200 TDI 110 county station wagon. He spent the early years of his life on an airport, hence the roof rack, spotlights, it has wiring that used to go to a beacon and things like that. So I got this in 2021 and the plan was just to sit on it until the disco was completed. But first I wanted to do a few important jobs, and if you know me I think you'll probably expect kind of what's about to come up. So in no particular order, I wanted to remove the stickers because I am not a huge fan of having loads of stickers on these anyway. As you know, I'm quite a fan of the standard approach. However, there will be a little bit of a twist in this story because the plan with Gordon is to pretty much build him into a bit of an overlander. So I'm going to be following Camel Trophy style accessories and modifications. It's not going to be a tribute vehicle, I just really like and I've always liked the look of Camel Trophy vehicles, and I find their accessories and modifications to be just very tasteful and practical, which is exactly what's going to happen here. There's going to be nothing on it that isn't for a purpose really. And then next on the list, needle gun the chassis, just so I know what I'm working with. I am well aware of the condition of it. It is not in the best condition whatsoever. However, we're kind of looking past that at the minute. I pretty much was just looking past that before I even bought it, purely because I was super happy with the engine, to be honest. And of course, steam clean it within an inch of its life, because I feel like this wouldn't be a Land Rover Sophie video without a needle gun and a steam cleaner. So, back to what I was saying earlier, it was pretty much parked in the sea. Like, that's the best way that I can explain it with how rotten the chassis was. There were literal sand castles coming out of the chassis while I was steam cleaning it. It's almost like it was parked next to the Titanic. I can't even express how much sand there was everywhere after this. So anyway, just giving it a real good blasting everywhere. I'm kind of focusing on the underneath for now because the last thing that I kind of want to happen is to keep this packed up with sand, grit, whatever is in the chassis legs, you know, just rotting it out from the inside out. So the plan is just to get rid of all the contaminants that will just be slowly eating away at it, because I don't want to come to it and it be in a worse condition than when I left it. So the plan is just to give it a real good deep clean, and then I can pretty much mull over whilst I'm doing the discovery what needs to happen with this 110. So I was really getting in there, really trying to get in every single crevice, getting right in the box sections, getting right into the rear cross member, because this is just one of the places that they rot out. So it's kind of looking a little bit feisty after that. I know these old Land Rovers are not renowned for being waterproof, so I am not exactly surprised. I do not understand how folk live with these. I kept smacking my hand off of it and it just had to come off of the steering wheel. Honestly, how people get on with these, I have absolutely no idea. So just a little look around the second row now. So Gordon is a 12-seater, so the bench seats are in the back along with the trim for over the rear door. The seats are in okay condition under the covers. The material part of them is okay, but unfortunately the backing of the seats is a little bit worse for wear these days, like the rest of the car really. So yeah, the plan was to just leave him here over winter now, just wait until the discovery is finished. And that is pretty much it. That is where I parked him up for winter. That discovery is not mine, it's a friend's. But yeah, that is where he was parked up over winter, until one day when I was waiting for the paint to dry on the Discovery, and I decided to turn that ship around. So I wanted to start this mini restoration project with the timing belt. So here is the current situation, some lovely 200 TDI goodness. Do you know, I was actually quite surprised about the fan cowling still being there. The state of the rest of it, I was really surprised that that was still there, to be honest with you, because most people just, you know, shove them in bin or break them or whatever. And it was in really good nick, like really good condition, and it was still there, so another bonus point. So first and foremost, drain the coolant and fluids. So beginning to strip it down now. removing hoses, the fan cowling, removing the viscous fan, oil cooler pipes, you know, the rest of it. So a selection of spanners here for the viscous fan. I didn't know if I had a specific spanner for this. The correct one is actually the 36mm with the blue plastic. The other is for a TD5. I kind of just got them out just because, to be honest. I hate going back and forth to and from a toolbox. It's one of them small pet peeves of mine. Now on to removing the radiator. Removing the water pump pulley, get rid of them V-belts. And as you may or may not know, these Defender 200 TDI engines are getting very difficult to come by, especially if they are low mileage. And I've just kind of always wanted one in the fleet, and to be honest, I was probably looking along the lines of getting like a 90 next, you know, in the distant future. Not necessarily as quick as I got Gordon. I do want to finish off the other projects, and I do still have the Series 3 and I am still cracking on with the Discovery, but you know, there's them opportunities in life where you just can't really miss. And plus I thought it was another thing to entertain you guys as well, so... Now on to removing the water pump. Now this just helps my brain out, I don't know how you guys like to do it. So all I did was use a piece of cardboard to show exactly where specific bolts went. And of course we can all appreciate my artistic streak. So what I was touching on earlier with Gordon is that the dream is to transform him into an Overland 110. And this is a bit of a future dream. At the moment I just want to get him back on the road and in a good usable condition before he undergoes a full nut and bolt restoration before going on those big expeditions that I am currently dreaming of. I have so many plans for what I want to do in the future, but for now I just want to get him back on the road. I'll probably tweak little bits and pieces, like I would like to get a new roof rack for him, put on a rooftop tent, go exploring and travelling and just enjoy life with him at the moment because I have that many projects on the go. This is just a quick get it back on the road and just go and enjoy it for a little bit. Then on to removing the timing case and just using the same cardboard system as before because it just makes sense in my head and it's just the way that I like to do things. And of course we can just all appreciate the pretty pictures of timing cases and water pumps that I draw. And off it comes. So I ended up temporarily putting it back on due to doing other bits and pieces. I didn't want any rubbish or contaminants going in there. So pretty much just for continuity I've added this clip in now. And then I went on to removing the thermostat and housing. So I am really curious to know what you guys think of Gordon so far. I know it's only episode 1 and it's early days, but you'll have to let me know what you think of him in the comments below. And on to the next day now and my new / improved cardboard system to stop the bolts rolling away. So unfortunately, one of the bolt holes in the inspection cover needs repairing. So this is the Blue Spot 131 piece thread repair kit, including taps, drill bits, thread inserts, etc. This kit has truly got it all. So I'm going for M6. Drill the hole which leaves it slightly bigger than it should be, so I can then tap it out with the corresponding tap. Install the thread insert, test fit the bolt, and we are away. Okay, so back onto the timing belt itself. The engine is timed up at top dead centre, making sure dots and arrows are aligned. This is not a timing belt tutorial. I can definitely do a timing belt tutorial if you guys are interested, but this is just sort of what I did and just throwing some random pieces of information in the video. But again, it's not a tutorial. This is just simply what I did. So flywheel locking pin in place. So pin slotted through the pulley on the injector pump, and then once timed and locked in position, the tensioner is unbolted and removed to remove the old belt. Here is a new tool I have recently invested invested in. It was quite expensive but recommended by the workshop manual to pull up the exact right tension on the belt, which is 20 Newton meters for these 200 TDIs. If you intend on doing your own timing belts or you're doing a lot of them, a dial indicating torque wrench is well worth the investment. So new timing belt and tension are fitted and remove pins, and then the engine is just turned clockwise 2 complete rotations. And then I am double checking the timing pins go back in, and that just assures that it is correctly timed. So casing cleaned up now, and I'm just using High Lamar blue and a new gasket. Cover back on now, new water pump including new bolts, with the appropriate Loctite. And just to mention, I'm sure you guys will already know this, but I follow workshop manuals to the letter, so every nut and bolt is torqued correctly. I've used Loctite where appropriate. On to the next day now and installing the new thermostat and thermostat housing. Just nipping up the housing bolts now before torquing them correctly. As I've said earlier, I did get a question recently about if I use Haynes manuals or workshop manuals, etc., and where I get my information from. I follow workshop manuals to the letter because that way you just can't go wrong, and that's my best advice to any of you guys that are wanting to do this kind of thing. So a few new goodies here now: springs, shocks, radiator. I painted the radiator panel, crank and water pump pulleys. And of course new V-belts fitted, ready for the new radiator and to be built back up. And you may also spot some conifer brake lines. These are the old copper ones. But anyway, that is it for episode 1. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you again in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye for now.